Hello, entrepreneurs, dreamers, business owners, and happy people with high hopes. Welcome to Cashflows with your host, Cash Matthews.
All right, welcome to Cashflows. We're glad you're here. I'm your host today, Cash Matthews, and we are here answering important life questions with a philosophy that we call fire, aim, ready, and it implies taking action. And, Kenneth, I think a lot of people, they get stranded. Maybe they have a great idea, a great business idea, or a poem, or a song they want to write, but they never get around to it.
Yeah.
And Cashflows is about finding people in the local economy, the local community that are doing those things, and then that allows our listeners to copy off of their neighbors.
Yeah.
And copying off your neighbors in the third grade is illegal, as I found out from Aunt Dorothy, my teacher. But it's also a very good idea when you're out there in the business world. So we bring business people from around the community to do great things. And so with that, I want to introduce Mr. Kenneth. Welcome, Kenneth. Talk to us.
Hey, how's it going?
Having another really good day, man.
We are. It's a lot of fun.
I enjoy. We get to talk to entrepreneurs all day,
and
that's about as good as it gets.
Yeah, get to help them learn some new things. And I know there was an interesting topic we talked about a couple episodes back, or maybe last week sometime, and I thought maybe we could revisit that again. Kind of that database idea, those 5 maybe key points of data, and other things we might want to collect about customers.
Yeah, if you're an entrepreneur, this is a moment for you to advance your business. Here, just in about 3 minutes, I'm going to share with you an idea. And by the way, we won't go into this completely. This is just the basic overarching idea.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you want to reach us, you can reach us at Cashflows at Tulsa B.O.N.G.com. If you want to reach out, ask more questions, schedule time to visit one-on-one. Love to have you. But, data, is it data or data?
It depends on if it's a name of a character in Star Trek or not.
Star Trek? Okay, that one. Yeah, I got to get with my high-tech shows. My data has data. My data has data.
There you go.
There we go. We're going to call it data for the rest of the show.
Allow it.
But, one of, if not the most important element that you must acquire, accumulate, and manage in your business, it ain't the money, it's the data. And data is information that you have on clients, prospects, referrals, and how do you keep that data? Then what do you do with it? How do you build a business with data? Because the very best place to get a client is from a client. And if you've got existing client base equaling 1 or greater, then this is for you. I collect 5 points of data, and then I'll tell you what I do with it. Obviously, I have their name, their cell phone, and their email. But what do you do after that? And I ask my clients, if my prospect's a funny question, and I ask this question, hey, would it be weird if I sent you a birthday card? And I've never had anybody say no to me. Now that we're putting this out in the world, somebody will say no to it. But just because they like to argue. But no, I wouldn't mind that at all. And I'm like, well, cool. What's your date of birth? And they give it to me. Then I'm like, where should I mail the card? And they give me their address. Now all of a sudden I have name, address, cell, email, and date of birth. Now I do something with it. Do I bother them? No. Don't be a pest. Don't be an internet mailer. Don't be one of these people that's so aggressive towards people. I do it just to spread the love. And I send birthday cards to my friends, to my prospects, and to my clients. And so about 5 days before their birthday, I managed to have a hand-signed card go to everybody on that list. And what's amazing, Steve, as I get around the country and I talk a lot out in public, people will come up and go, man, I enjoy working with you as my advisor,
Mm-hmm.
And I haven't talked to you, and they feel bad because I've sent them a birthday card every year.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll do it with Christmas cards as well. And I figured out how to automate it. And that's a whole conversation for one-on-one, not for a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
But I figured out how to automate all of these things that help me be more. I don't just look more engaged. I am more engaged. And I'll send out a Christmas card. I love 4th of July cards. Do I send it to all 3,000 customers? No. But, I've got some people that I want to stay in touch with.
Yeah.
And so I also will send out a birthday card on my birthday. And that birthday card might be to you, Kenneth, and go, hey, Kenneth, I wanted you to know today's my birthday. And the best gift a guy like me could have is a friend like you. Thanks for being part of my life. Cash Matthews.
Huh.
Is that a sales pitch? No. it's a birthday card.
Yeah.
And I've done Groundhog Day. I try to find unique ways to stay in contact with the people that I know, like, and trust, and that know, like, and trust me. I call those people my market. Marketing is this idea that people talk about how to share what you do with people. I'm more about sharing who I am with people, and that seems to take care of what I do.
Yeah.
And I've built a business the last 42 years using that concept, and all I can tell you is it works. The only remaining question is, do you work? And if you want to work a little bit more on that, I would love to have a conversation with you. Cashflows at TulsaB.com, and we can have that conversation because it takes a little more than the 40 minutes we have allotted here.
Yeah.
So we're glad you're here, and we are glad today to have Steve Swinney in the house with us, a guy that we met through this thing called the Business Owners Networking Group. And so, Steve, welcome to the show.
All right, thanks for having me.
We are very glad you're here, and we met through this weird thing called the B.O.N.G. A few months ago, you were here in this very complex, attending the new member event. Just tell us, what's the B.O.N.G. been like for you?
The B.O.N.G. for me has been really a place of community and friendship.
Yeah?
It's been great getting to know everyone and just building community.
Right. So you started to make friends?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you've done lots of one-on-one type things with B.O.N.G. members.
I have.
Yeah, can you put a number on that yet?
No.
Yeah, it's a lot, right?
Yeah, it's hard to keep track of.
And then you're also my cohort when we go to the men's breakfast, which is right before the women's breakfast.
Breakfast crashers.
And somehow we managed to stay through. That's just because we take so long to eat. That's all I can factor.
Yeah.
Well, so your business is My Honey's Handmade, and I know you're in the woodworking space, and we're going to dig into that a little bit, but they can find you on Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook.com, My Honey's Handmade.
All right, My Honey's Handmade that you can find on Facebook. Mr. Steve Swinney, the proprietor. And to give us an overarching, tell us what you do, and then we're going to dig into who you are.
Okay. I build custom furniture, various woodworking projects, and laser engraving, small batch manufacturing.
Right.
On the laser.
So I saw some of the pictures from your, I guess you'd put them up online, but it seemed like one of them was a woodwork picture of a lake. Or can you describe what that was? What did I see there?
I do custom lake maps with epoxy. So I make really personalized lake maps of any lake, any river in the world.
Wow.
And I can personalize that. I do, one of my favorite ones was a customer last fall. Her and her dad spent every Sunday at Stroud Lake. And she was buying him a Christmas gift. And I said, well, let me make it a little more special for you. Send me your handwriting, a handwritten note to your dad, and I'll laser engrave that on the lake.
Oh, my gosh.
So I build the custom frames and laser engrave it, send proofs, and the clients get to help with an interactive process to make that the gift they're looking for.
So you did her words in her handwriting?
In her handwriting. Mm-hmm.
How big is something like that? It's like, it seems like they'd be giant.
They start at 11 by 14, and I make up to 30 by 36.
So it's not actual size, just so you know.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I was a little bit worried if I could fit that in my living room.
Yeah. Well, that's probably not a good idea. So when you were, how do you get into that business? And is that something you'd always wanted to do as a kid?
No, that's the interesting thing. My dad was a carpenter, and I did not grow up woodworking.
Okay.
I helped him as a teenager on a few various projects.
Right.
But really, my journey began in woodworking probably 7 or 8 years ago.
Really? Okay. So you did this later in life?
I did.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, I did this after a 22-year IT career.
Okay.
So it started as a hobby. My son wanted an end table, and this was at the time when I was just starting. So I went around town, grabbed old pallets from different stores, and we made him a nightstand.
The wooden shipping pallet kind of thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we made a pallet wood end table for his room, or nightstand.
How cool is that?
It was good.
Yeah,
he helped build it.
Oh, so, okay. And do you still have it?
Well, last year he said, Dad, can we make a different one? Because it's a lot different what I built 7 years ago versus what I create now.
I can imagine.
So I said, yeah. So I said, he got to design it, pick out the wood. He helped build it all. He stained it and clear coated it, and that's what's in his room now.
Very cool.
So very special.
Well, so he's seen you do it. How old is he?
He's 16.
Does he have the entrepreneurial bug yet?
No.
Oh, okay.
He's too busy playing guitar.
Playing guitar, going to high school.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And is he a good guitar player?
He's very good.
Yeah.
He is.
I'm a wannabe guitar guy, and I'm not very good.
He makes a lot of TikTok videos.
Ooh, okay. So we need to promote him on TikTok as well. So you've had your business now for 7 years, you said?
Yeah. I think formally it's been a business for 3 or 4 years.
Right. But is this something you're doing for friends or just as a hobby?
It started out as a hobby. Like I said, I made my son that end table, but then we had bought a new pub set, kitchen set from Mathis Brothers.
We call them Mattress Brothers, by the way.
There we go.
Just so we say it correctly.
Mattress Brothers. And so we bought the new table. We were excited about it. And 2 months into it, a bubble formed on the top.
Oh.
I was like, what is that? Didn't know anything about it. So they came and replaced the tabletop, and it did the same thing 2 months later. So
Wow.
they replaced it twice. And I said, you know what? I haven't built a lot, but I know I can build a better dining room table than that.
Wow.
So I built one out of maple, and we still have that table today.
It's still in use?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. We still
Wow.
use it. Now my wife wants a new table. She wants a different style.
I wish we could do pictures on this show and, flash them through the YouTube
Yeah,
thing.
right.
We'll
That'd be fun.
have to figure that out because his
Yeah.
stuff is beautiful. And, one of the things I appreciate the most in my life is is a thoughtful gift. I think our world is going to that. I mean, there's 80 million baby boomers that are 55 to 70. We're tired of ties and golf shirts. And, and my children are 15 and 24, and they always say, Dad, what do you want for Christmas? And I'd rather have a poem. I'd rather have a heartfelt, thought out kind of gift. And the stuff that you do to me is really amazing. And I think the mood is shifting, Kenneth, on those kinds of gifts. And did I see that you do cutting boards as well?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we make engraved cutting boards. We can engrave closing gifts, anything you can imagine.
So talk about closing gifts for a sec, because we have a lot of realtors who listen to this, and mortgage people and financial people.
Right.
How does that work? They just get in contact with you and go, hey.
Yeah, they get in touch with me, and I'll show them a lookbook of some of the products that we offer, as well as, anything they find online.
Got it. So
Any
they
kind of
can
style.
come to you with an idea, then.
Oh, absolutely. That's typically how I'm challenged by clients and how I grow in my experiences. Someone will come to me and says, hey, can you make this funky piece of furniture? I'm like, sure. I like challenges. I like the creative process.
I was at a garage sale, and I found a diving board from 1950. It had been a neighborhood diving board in this particular neighborhood. All the older people knew about that diving board. Well, they shut the pool down. Dude took it, made a bench out of it, and I bought it for $20 at a garage sale. It had been but the top has started to rot. Is that something you could take and turn into something and it still be a bench? And
Sure.
It lives outside.
It depends. It's kind of, everyone. I do have customers that bring me a piece of wood. They want it to get a second life. Right. So it just depends on the project. Sometimes if you're wanting to keep it, I can refinish that, repair it, so that we extend the life or give it a second life as a different kind of object. One of my coolest projects was 5 years ago, a lady brought me slabs from her family tree.
Oh, how cool.
Where her mom recently passed. So this had a lot of sentimental value.
Right.
So she brought me milled up wood, and I made several pieces of furniture from her family tree that she was able to give as gifts for herself and for her family members.
Yeah, that's something that can't be.
No,
that's as good as it gets.
Yeah, and that's what you're talking about as far as the personal gifts.
Yeah.
It can all be personalized. It doesn't have to be laser engraved to be personalized.
Right.
But, if the object or the wood has a story,
right,
that's personal to you. That's the tree I played on as a child. And I have a piece of furniture or some kind of object or a vase that I make that you put in your home. That's the story behind the piece.
So in this business endeavor, maybe in this life, what's your proudest accomplishment?
That would be being married to my wife, Lisa.
Yeah.
And raising my 2 sons,
yeah,
Logan and Eli.
How long have you guys been married?
21 years next month.
Wow, in a row. That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, she didn't kick me out. So.
All right. And does she work with you in the business?
She does not.
Okay.
Now, funny story, she doesn't work with me in the business, but the name of my company actually started with a Facebook page she started.
Okay.
She used to have a Facebook page called My Honey's Handmade, and made a few quilts, sold a few quilts.
Ooh.
And when I got into woodworking, I made a few quilt ladders, and her friends were like, "Ooh, I'll buy some of those." And then I very quickly took over the page. So that's how the company name came about.
Got it. So where all can people see the work that you do? What kind of platforms are you using to put yourself out there?
Well, our primary source is Facebook.com, My Honey's Handmade. We also have a Shopify store, an Etsy shop.
Got it.
We're also on Instagram.
Got it. Do you do Shopify, Ken?
I have shopped on Shopify or through Shopify. So sometimes they do just integrations on another website. Sometimes it's direct. But yeah, it's, yeah.
Okay. I have people say that I've never been on there.
It's a real, depending on the plane you purchase, it's a simple, it's just a place you can give customers an idea, post pictures or videos of what you do.
That you can sell from it?
Yeah, absolutely. It's an e-commerce platform as well.
Yeah.
Got it.
Just a different vehicle for getting your pictures and product out there.
Got it. Is there one project that you've done that was your favorite?
Probably one of my dining room tables.
Yeah.
I had a doctor from Georgia reach out a couple of years ago, probably 3 years ago, and approach me. And for me, it's odd to get a call from someone out of state.
Sure.
For My Honey's Handmade, and she wanted this modern table made, and I built it over a multi-month process. You know, I was working full-time in my IT career at that point, and she called me Table Man. That was my nickname, so every time I'd pick up the phone, she'd call me Table Man, but her name was Susie. She had a great personality. Her and her husband, I was able to meet them. I actually delivered the table to Georgia. Drove 13 hours straight, installed the table.
Right.
They loved it, and that's actually one of the most popular table requests. I used to get table requests from all over the country.
Right.
Yeah, that was probably one of my most favorite builds. It wasn't necessarily the favorite piece of furniture, but the whole experience between being able to design with the customer.
Right.
You know, I would send samples, and they would choose options as well. So it's that was a great process, and to be able to meet them and install it in their home.
Yeah, how cool is that?
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah, and I guess you get some repeat business from that kind of stuff, and people,
absolutely.
People, you're kind of a big deal. People know you.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so what is it about woodworking and engraving? Why are you? Because you're a passionate guy.
I am.
Yeah, and you seem to dig it, and I always like to know what lights people up.
Well, I had an IT career of 22 years.
Right.
And that was great. But at the end of the day, I didn't have a tangible product.
Right.
The network worked. People were able to get their email. But it wasn't anything. I didn't have a tangible product.
Right.
When I go in the wood shop, if I'm the lathe, in an hour or two, I'm going to have a finished vase.
Right.
Or rolling pin, or, I can think of an idea one night, design it, go make it on the laser the next day. To be able to have that tangible product is something great for me.
So when you create a product like that, do you have to create a drawing or a 3D rendering?
Yeah.
I watch artistic people,
Oh.
and I just try to stand back and I can't do this, but I love it.
Well,
What's the process for creation?
Well, I have horrible handwriting, so there's a reason I learned how to type in high school.
All right, you could have been
So
a
it was
doctor.
great. Yeah, exactly. My handwriting or my signature is horrible, but I'll use SketchUp to make a diagram, a 3D rendering of the piece of furniture,
Right.
depending on the project,
Right.
how intricate it is. Get approval from the customer, and then I can build from that. Or with my laser engraving and laser manufacturing, I'll actually design that on my laptop.
Cool.
It's not a 3D model, but I'll design that, and then I can go to the shop and actually cut it out.
Very cool. The artistic type kind of
Mm-hmm.
genuinely, I'm not impressed by that much, but when I meet people that can create, whether it's a chef, a laser engraver, a woodworker, I've always stood in awe of that because my ability is zero, but my appreciation is high.
And I don't consider myself an artist necessarily, but I think the wood does a lot of the work.
Yeah.
You're trying to highlight the beauty of the wood.
Right.
That's the thing I really enjoy about it.
So what's a good wood to do a lake map with? Is there a preferred wood?
I use Baltic birch for the cutouts, and then I'll do a premium frame out of solid maple or walnut. Kind of depends, what the customer wants, what goes with their decor.
Okay.
I can customize it to any wood type or wood color that they'd like.
That actually is a cool story, bro.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick studio break. And Mr. Kenneth, who do we have today?
Well, today we're going to talk about Kenneth B.O.N.G photography. I'm here to help you bring your awesome ideas to life. I specialize in helping businesses explode their online presence through professional photo, video, and virtual event production with a rapid turnaround. It's commercial photo and video services with a personal touch. Learn more at kennethbockham.com.
All right. We are live with Steve Swinney, My Honey's Handmade. You can find them on Facebook, My Honey's Handmade. You can also find them in the Tulsa B.O.N.G group on Facebook. Mr. Steve Swinney, one of our newer members to the B.O.N.G, but one of the most active members in the B.O.N.G. We've been watching and see how many one-on-ones you said, and like every other picture on the page is you.
I try.
Yeah.
It's been great meeting everyone.
Yeah, I don't know. I probably talked too much about it, and I apologize for that. But I love this community of people. It's my brother's house burned down last night, and it's a rental house. He wasn't in it, and everybody got out okay. So now it's just the next part of the story 8 hours later.
Right.
And my brother is a real estate investor, owns a property near my home. My daughter, who's upstairs, used our telecom, her cell phone. Dad, I smell roasting marshmallows, and nobody's roasting marshmallows. Wake up. And I get up, and I smell it, and man, somebody's making marshmallows. We haven't been invited. And I'm telling a story about the community. We go out. I went, hey, we're going outside. Put your clothes on. We put our clothes on. We hop in the car. We drive around. And we get out of our driveway. You can see the smoke, and it was giant. And the fire, and I'm like, oh no, that's right over by my brother's house. And sure enough, it was my brother's house.
Wow.
And first we're concerned about the people, because three, husband, wife, and small child live there. They're okay. We get the news, and who comes to the rescue is the B.O.N.G community. And they're like, all right, hey, I'm not trying to get the repair job, but we've got winter coming. We need to go today. Even though the house is still smoking, we have to winterize that house today, or the problems. And this fire started 7 hours ago, 8 hours ago, and there are B.O.N.G members as we speak going to work on my brother's house. And this community, I could get emotional about that. They step up.
That's phenomenal.
And one of our B.O.N.G members' husband was in a wreck, and they've done a food thing. I love this community, and it ain't, I promise you, it ain't about the business or the money, but I found out all that stuff follows if you just allow yourself to be natural in a community, let people know you. And I think you're one of the best at letting people get to know you.
Well, I just enjoy doing the one-on-ones.
Yeah. Isn't it fun?
Getting to know people, getting to know their story. Every one of us has a story. We might not think it's inspiring, but to hear other people's journey.
Yeah. Okay, so do you have a favorite B.O.N.G member that you've met? We won't air this part, probably.
I won't mention any names.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that was very diplomatic of you. We're fishing there for one in particular. So you're passionate about woodwork. We all work in different industries. How do you elevate your skills? Is there a school?
There are schools.
Because I signed up for one. I saw one, and then I quit. Like, I had total anxiety. I can't do this. I'm never going to be able to do this. And I'm not talking about for a rookie, but how do you get better?
Really, I just get better with client requests that challenge me.
Right.
And if I'm not working on client requests, during the slow times of the year, I'll work on different skills that I want to develop over that year.
Right.
Last year it was steam bending wood.
Say that again.
Steam bending wood.
You heard of this?
Yes.
No, you have not.
Yes, I have.
Kenneth's heard of it.
I've used a saw once or twice. I know a couple of wood terms.
Yeah.
No, you're always looking to elevate your skills.
Right.
If I'm not being challenged by a client, I'll try to develop skills. I might set goals for myself.
Right.
Learn a new type of joint, which is how wood joins together, or a
That's
new
not
style.
A bad joke.
Oh, I'm learning a new kind of joint at the bar. Thank you, winner. Can we get a button?
We'll hit the button for that one there.
We need like a ding, 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 ding. Got a button for that. That was excellent. I love industry. I love watching industries. Are there like conventions, woodworkers conventions?
There are. There are different woodworking conventions, wood turning, which is using a lathe.
Right.
There are a lot of those. I haven't been to any of those. There's also content creation conferences for woodworkers.
Content creation, that's how to create the videos.
Yeah, how to create the YouTube videos.
Right.
But typically, I read a lot, so I've read a lot of books on different woodworking processes and different types of furniture creation.
Got it.
Then YouTube University.
YouTube University,
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty much self-taught. I mean, my dad was a carpenter growing
Right.
up, but he didn't make furniture. I mean, he made cabinets, but I wasn't into it when he was alive. So,
All right, well, let's go another direction. I want to ask you because I know you're a guy that's traveled a little bit, and let's talk about travel. Where's your favorite trip you've ever been to?
last year, my wife and I celebrated our 20th wedding anniversary.
Damn. All right.
So we'd been talking about going to Cinque Terre, Italy, for years and years. She backpacked through Europe after the summer after college. So she always told great stories about Switzerland and Italy and all over the place. So we decided, let's go to Italy.
Right.
So we booked a 3 nights in Milan, 3 nights in Cinque Terre, 3 nights in Siena, and then 4 nights in Rome.
Wow.
So it was an amazing trip. The first day in Milan, I'm wearing my Keen flip-flops, shorts, and a T-shirt, and I'm walking around there. Lots of the men are wearing 3-piece suits, so I'm a very casual guy.
Right.
But the first day, she tore her meniscus,
Oh.
and we didn't know, but she had great knee pain the entire trip.
Oh no.
And later that evening, I had my phone pickpocketed on the metro. So it was a great first day.
That was your first day.
That was day one.
So that's that could be like your funniest trip, also.
Yeah,
Not
I
funny,
guess so.
But
Yeah. Funny in an unexpected way. So yeah, that was an amazing trip. We second day we missed the tour by 15 minutes. We were going to go up to Lake Como in Switzerland. So we missed that, so we caught the train and went to Lugano, Switzerland for lunch. That was pretty amazing, just to enjoy God's creation.
Man, oh man, and we have not yet been to Italy, but that's got to be, it had to be beautiful.
Oh, it was fantastic.
Yeah.
We hiked through the mountains and vineyards of Cinque Terre. It's basically 5 villages overlooking the Mediterranean. So we hiked, one day we hiked, our captain of our sunset tour the night before said, "Oh, that's an easy hike between these 2 villages." So we caught the bus, famous last words.
Yeah.
We caught the bus up to a village, had a great lunch, and started hiking through the vineyard, stopped for a glass of wine. Hey, this is great. And then it got hard. About 20 minutes later, you're overlooking the Mediterranean. You're in the middle of a vineyard, terraced mountaintop vineyards.
Right.
And I was just praying that we could make it down.
Wow.
It was amazing descent. It was as hard as I could imagine.
The descent was.
Yeah. We were wearing flip-flops or Keens, not flip-flops, and then our swimming trunks. We were going to go down to the village that had a great sandy beach, and it didn't happen. We made it down after lots of praying, and we decided to go back. We were wiped out.
Wow. And so how long was that trip total?
13 or 14 days.
Wow. Okay, that's the way to do a trip right there.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
Is there someplace you want else to go, another place you would like to go to that you have not yet been?
We want to go to Spain. Never been to Spain. My wife hasn't either. So that's a good place. She's been to a lot of places in Europe, and I haven't. So
Yeah, Spain and Portugal have been on my list.
yeah, I think Spain would be great.
And I'm a golfer, and they have these cruises where you can,
Oh, okay.
be on the boat for 8 days and play 8 different venues of golf.
That sounds right down your alley.
Well, I'm not a bowler, but you want to pin that joke to the top?
Yeah, why not?
Don't go on strike. I apologize. That's just an area we have not been overseas. We've been to Canada and Mexico, but we've never gone across the ocean. And as a golfer, Italy has lots of great golf courses too. There's just a lot going on over there. Any place in the country you have yet to see that you're yearning to see?
I think Green Canyon. We're hoping to do a trip soon.
Oh, you've not yet been there?
Have not.
I was there twice last year.
Oh, really?
It's and it's really wonderful. As an artistic guy,
Mm-hmm.
you should go once in the morning, and this was my first time to go late in the evening. I wanted to watch the sunset, and if you ever want to feel just insignificant, go to the Grand Canyon and watch the sun either come up or go down. It was phenomenal.
I told my family that I want to go swim in Havasu Falls
Right.
until they told me, well, you're going to have to hike down the canyon
Right.
and then back up. And I was like,
Yeah, I think I'll
I'm not
pass
sure.
on that.
Yeah.
It'd be a good day to own a helicopter.
yeah, right?
All right, so we're here today with Steve Swinney, My Honey's Handmade. And he does engraving, laser engraving. He makes handmade gifts. He makes gifts from wood. And, man, I am always impressed with somebody that has that ability. I don't, but if you're looking for a unique gift, something that is high quality, that will mean something to somebody, we call these generational gifts. And it's kind of like the photographer thing, because I think it's beautiful that there's going to be a day somewhere down the road, 50, 60, or 100 years, where that gift is still going to be there, like a photograph often is. And, we are the ancestors of that generation, and I wonder what they'll think of us.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Anytime I build something, that's the goal.
You think about it being
Heirloom quality.
heirloom.
We want that table or that piece of furniture to be able to be handed down.
All right. Well, we are going to talk to Steve Swinney. And one of the things we do here on Cashflows is we get a business nugget from people who are doing it and people who are contributing to society. And then we share that with you so that you can copy off your neighbor. Steve, you've left your arm over your paper. We can now copy off of you. What say you about a golden nugget?
For me, a golden nugget, what I would recommend is to find your community.
Yeah.
That's something that's taken me a number of years to find.
Yeah.
I think I've done it. Build a community of supportive people around you.
Right.
When I was first starting out, join local Facebook groups or local in-person groups
Right.
for whatever you're pursuing. Find a mentor and be a mentor. When I first started, local woodworkers would help me out. I didn't have larger equipment. They would let me use their equipment till I, became larger and had my own. Now I let aspiring woodworkers come use my equipment. Or if they want to learn a special skill, they've never used a lathe, I can teach them how to use a lathe.
Off the record, could a guy like me come and watch one day? Like when you're building something?
Sure, if you sign the
Dude,
disclaimer.
There's some paperwork and safety vests and hard hats.
I would
Right.
absolutely do that. I watch videos. I love to watch videos, and my favorite videos to watch are power washing.
Power washing.
Saying that out loud doesn't sound quite so impressive.
Well,
I love power washing and land clearing, and then watching people just build things. And I can get lost in somebody building a table.
I'll send you my YouTube channel where I make some
You have a
bases.
YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Let's call out your YouTube channel
Yeah.
real quick.
It's just My Honey's Handmade.
My Honey's Handmade on YouTube as well. Think I'll be going there at the break today.
do it.
And I think I'm going to do that. That is awesome. We are here today with Steve Swinney, My Honey's Handmade on Facebook, My Honey's Handmade on YouTube, and he also has a bustling MySpace page, which is very exciting. Things are going well over there. All right, so are you about ready to wrap this show up? I think we're
Sure.
right on the number.
Yeah, let's do it.
Another perfect show. You ready
Sure.
for action? Okay, let's wrap it up. So with that, thank you to the people who have listened to our show today. And we're glad you're here, and we hope you'll share the message of hope and just making better choices out there in life. Today would be a great day to just be nice to each other. I don't have a better thing to encourage people with than just be nice to one another. Make good choices for yourself and your business. And for today, if you could think about it, maybe today is the day you forgive somebody who absolutely does not deserve it. Because forgiveness, friends, is not about that person. It is about you and letting go of those self-imposed anchors that might be holding you back. Forgiveness will just lighten your load once you talk about it. So forgive somebody today and let them know that you're forgiving them. That's a weird thing when it happens, and it's a powerful thing of self-reclamation. And so with that, we want to say thank you for being here today to our listeners, sponsors, and friends. Thank you. And remember, this show is about you. Thank you for being part of Cashflows.
That's our show for today. Stay tuned for another riveting edition of Cashflows.